Ayurveda views nutrition as a consciousness of satisfaction of the body and the mind. This is particularly called prinan, or feeling content in body and mind. You have to actually give nutrition to the mind and nutrition to the body. Therefore, we can maintain a higher consciousness in living. So more than anything else, Ayurveda views nutrition as feeling happy and content. And the Sanskrit word for this is prinan, of feeling contentment. To Ayurveda, food, whether it's cooked or raw, is to be viewed as what gives you nutrition, and to which individual that gets nutrition, and how each individual, or according to Ayurveda, each dosha can digest food. So more than raw versus cooked, it is important to find out which food that you can digest and how you can digest it. So Ayurveda has no particular opinion of whether the food is raw or whether the food is cooked, but more of an opinion on whether the food is getting digested and give you nutrition, thereby giving you more prana and a higher consciousness to live. So some of the foods consumed raw is very good. It's good for the body, it's light, it gives you immediate energy and makes the body feels like it can actually eliminate better. Some foods are heavier and according to Ayurveda needs to be changed or transformed, let's say transformed, in order for the body to accept indigestion. And this particular concept in Ayurveda is called Agni. The body must use its own Agni, or its metabolic fire, to transform the food. So some of the cooked or transformed food is difficult for Agni, and some raw food are difficult for Agni. So this is not a question of raw food versus cooked food. It is a question of, can you use your own Agni or your metabolic fire to transform the food so that you could have useful energy out of that? From an Ayurveda point of view, the foods that are raw, best is the fruits. The fruits, the nuts, these must be eaten raw. God gives these foods to us in its raw form for us to eat directly out of the tree. The food is ripened and given to us as fruit that is full of nutrition, full of vitamins, minerals, and enzymes that will enable us to digest that. Some foods that are under the ground, for example, that are roots, are much more difficult for the body to digest in a raw form. So according to Ayurveda, the fruits and nuts that are given ripened by nature itself for us to eat directly are the easiest foods to digest and to be taken in a raw form. It is better for, if you are eating raw foods, to separate your fruits and vegetables. They are different in carbohydrates, they are different in enzymes and in transformation according to Ayurveda in your body. Therefore, if you're doing raw foods, it's better to eat the fruits separately from the vegetables, juice vegetables separately from the fruits, juice fruits separately. The difference in your body, according to Ayurveda, is the difference of your dosha. Some of us are vata individuals, some are pitta individuals, and some are kapha individuals. So depending on our dosha, each food digested differently. So for example, your question about a carrot, some of us may digest the carrot well in the raw form and some may not. Some of the doshas, the digestive Agni or the digestive capacity or the metabolic fire is weak. So when you have a weaker digestion, it is difficult when the food is not already prepared or transformed. So some may not digest the raw carrot. Therefore, they may need help in transforming it in order to digest it. So it is not the food, it is who eats the food. It is not the food which is in the raw form or the cooked form. It's the individual who eats it. So if you are an individual who can digest a raw carrot, then it is good. But if you cannot, then the carrot must be transformed in order to give you nutrition. It is not about a particular time that works for everyone. It is about your awareness of the hunger. Each of us have hunger, awareness of hunger, the capacity to digest in different times. Some of us wake up hungry, therefore at that particular time we need more food. Our body must tell us how much to eat. So in order to do that, you have to be aware of it, your mind and body connected to your hunger level. And also to know your dosha. Certain doshas cannot digest late at night. The metabolic fire or agni is weaker at that time. So it is not a global an opinion on what time to eat, what time not to eat. It is rather an individual knowing what's right for you. If you are hungry in the morning, the body is asking for food. So at that time you have to feed the body and feed the mind. And according to Ayurveda, the best times is to try to connect with the metabolic fire of nature. Try to connect with the times during the nature when the fire is very high, that is during the day, and is connected to your own fire, your own solar plexus or your own metabolic nature. But then again, someone may be hungry because they have been using their agni for other purposes, for working, for thinking. So you have to feed your body and mind according to your own nature, according to your own nature in hunger level as well as your dosha. So it is not a general rule that one must eat good breakfast, good lunch, or good dinner. It is the nature of your body and mind and how you transform and digest food. So you know which part of the day that your digestion is higher if you actually observe your body. So it is, according to Ayurveda, not necessarily a particular time. It is an individual knowing. Ayurveda, first of all, has no opinion of good and bad in food. It is what you consume is what your body and mind wants and requires. It is not what you eat, it is what you digest. According to Ayurveda, you look at the nutritional value of a particular food or particular consumption. If you take coffee, the nutritional value of it is that you want actually to be stimulated. So you're looking at an aspect of your own need for stimulation that make you do your work or make you go through the day. But as far as the Ayurveda nutrition is concerned, it looks at the food itself, in this case coffee, as what does it provide the body. The coffee's main taste is bitter and sour, most of the time sour, because that is the nature of the coffee bean. So if you provide a food that is sour and provide it without nutrition that gives body something to work with, then you're going to sour the body. Thereby, you're going to damage the liver. So Ayurveda not only look at the food in according to its dosha, look at the food in taste. If we eat something sweet, nourishing, like a grape, you would get energy. But you would get energy through coffee by stimulating the nervous system, but not in long term by giving it a food that is sweet but sour. So coffee doesn't provide nutrition but provides stimulation. But you may need stimulation sometimes. So again, Ayurveda looks at the food as what does it do for you? Can you use this food to actually get energy, get long-term health, get short-term health? Can you be awake? So those are the things that you have to ask rather than coffee is good for you or not good for you. It is more like, why are you taking the coffee? For what purpose are you using the coffee? Of course, if you have to, in the middle of the night, drive somewhere, it might save your life because it stimulates you and make you alert. But in long term, it may not provide you nutrition. So Ayurveda always look at everything in its balanced form. What it provides for you in nutrition rather than look at the food itself. Looks at what do you want from the food. It depends on your dosha. The first thing that you must look for having or eating a raw food diet is what is your dosha and how does the dosha manifest in your nutrition. So raw food diet gives you energy, makes you lighter, maybe makes you more focused in the short term. As time wears out, when your Agni starts to weaken to some extent that you cannot provide your own Agni, the body starts to feel more colder and more nervous and feel a little shaky. Some people get dizzy. Some people get their feet and their hands colder, and inability to sleep, and the eye movement change. Those things happen naturally when you put yourself on a diet that uses up so much Agni within the system or within the human body. But again, if you are Vata dominant constitution, this manifestation will come faster than the Pitta or the Kapha dominant constitutions, because the very nature of Vata is lightness. So already built in lightness, if you start the body more and more lighter, it will be ungrounded and you will not be able to ground yourself to rest, or the calmness may move away. The sleep that is really required may be disturbed. So those are the things that you need to look for. The nervous system, the temperature of the body, and whether you're disturbed in your rest, whether you can actually focus. If you can have all these, then you know the raw food diet will work for you. But if you start to lose your focus, if you start to lose your temperature and you start to feel cold and you start to feel that you cannot maintain a calmer, poised feeling about yourself, then you'll know that the raw food diet is no longer viable for you.